What's up, my Century Gunners? It's the Centuryman here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So this time going back to the year of 1997, part of the WWF in 1997, 25 years later story arc. So today I'm reviewing King of the Ring 1997 at the Providence Civic Center. Right now it's called the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island, on the 8th of June 1997. The attendance for the show was 13,312. King of the Ring 1997 received about 177,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade than the 1996 King of the Ring show. That was memorable that was known for the Stone Cold Steve Austin show when Austin won the 1996 King of the Ring tournament, and he ended up cutting the Austin 316 promo. That's one of the starting points of the Attitude Era. And by the way, King of the Ring 1996 received about 197,000 pay-per-view buys. Yeah, decreased by 20%. The commentators for King of the Ring 1997 are Vince McMahon and Jim Ross, not Jerry Lawler. He's not commentated on this show. He was preparing for his semi-final match of the King of the Ring tournament against Mankind. We'll get to his match later on in this review. Speaking of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament, the tournament bracket. So, not a good bracket. I'm not saying it's the worst. I don't know, we'll get to 95 in the future, but the King of the Ring tournament's been around since the mid-1980s. And the pay-per-view itself been around since 1993. The tournament, not the tournament, but the pay-per-view, has been around for 4 years. But the this bracket, here's the semi-finalists in this tournament. You got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Ahmed Johnson, Jerry the King Lawler, and Mankind. I know it's been around since the mid-1980s. I think it was 1985 or 1986. They've been doing this tournament. I don't think we're going to get, I don't think they ever did like a great King of the Ring tournament. I don't think we're going to get it. I don't know. Never say never. So I feel like this tournament is a bit wonky. They should have did more. Maybe they did some matches on Shotgun Saturday Night. And you're not going to find these Shotguns episodes on the network. Sorry, but I don't know. I feel like it's just like, I feel like they just did not put emphasis of this tournament. This is supposed to be one of the big 5 pay-per-views of the year, and they don't really put emphasis on the tournament. That's just me. So anyway, the first match to kick off the show, we got the first semi-final match of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. We got Hunter Hearst Helmsley, that is Triple H by the way, with China in his corner, taking on Ahmed Johnson. This is the rematch from weeks ago. I'm covering some Raws of 1997. The first match was ending in disqualification on Raw a few weeks back because China hit Ahmed Johnson in the back with the chair. That led to Ahmed Johnson advance into the semi-finals of the tournament. And Triple H got a second shot at the tournament because Vader pulled out, because he suffered a nose injury in the hands of Ken Shamrock at Cold Day in Hell, the previous month's pay-per-view, but in reality, Vader was in the doghouse because the whole situation I think it was in Kuwait, because he confronted a interviewer because that interviewer said, wrestling is fake. So, anyway, the match between Ahmed Johnson and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, sorry I'm speaking fast by the way, it was an okay match. Not a great opener to kick off a pay-per-view. It was okay for what it is. The whole bulk of the matches between Ahmed Johnson really dominate Helmsley. And then Helmsley got his heat, kind of thrown Johnson into the steel steps. And also one more of the match, you had Johnson did mocking Triple H. Helmsley's taunt, the bow. And then, Helmsley did his own bow. And China kind of smiled because in China's really in his first, I say 96, 97, in her 1 or 2 years run in her company and only run in the company, she never shows any personality and charisma. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because her role is the silent muscle. When like the whole DX thing kicked off, you can tell they're putting more charisma and personality in China's character. So anyway, so the match was okay. Like I said, Ahmed Johnson. I thought it was going to be a squash match, but it wasn't. And then I'm trying to keep it. I'm going to talk about the end anyway. So in the end, Johnson was going to hit Helmsley with the Pure River Plunge, but China interfered, disrupted the referee. In the end, Helmsley hit the pedigree onto Johnson to win this match and advance into the final of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. So yeah, it was an okay match. Wasn't a great opener. Wasn't any good. It was just an okay match, for what it is. So let's move on to the second semi-final of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. That is Mankind taking on Jerry the King Lawler. This has happened on the Go Home show to Raw. You had Lawler confronting Mankind. This was during Mankind's match with Savio Vega. You had Mankind attack Lawler. Didn't really lock the mandible claw onto Lawler, but the referee stopped him before Mankind trying to lock the hold on Lawler, but that'd be completely stupid. Otherwise, Vega will be in the tournament instead of Mankind. So anyway, this is more of a promo segment than an actual match. So not Lawler. So basically, Mankind said, and also the announcers bring up that, not announcers, but the commentator brought that Mankind is starting to get some good reaction, because you can tell, they did the whole Jim Ross interviewing Mankind segment, you can tell he's getting more sympathy and more respect, but I'll get to more of that shortly. But, I'll get to the Mankind promo. So, Mankind says where is his Uncle Paul? He's had more important things to do because he's managing The Undertaker in his main event match against Farouk. We'll get to the main event later on in this review. He said, this match is the biggest important in his wrestling life, and, it's not going to stop me, because it's not stopping my quest to become King of the Ring. It brings up, there's many kings in history. There's been crew kings, bringing the subjects down. There's many kings bringing the people up. What king you want me to be? Which king you want Foley's little boy want to be? This is the start. They're gonna referring Mankind to Foley's little boy, because in those segments with Jim Ross, in those Raws with Mankind, they start bringing up Mick Foley's real name. You can tell, I think the deranged Mankind gimmick, when he debuted for the company the previous year in '96, he was getting stale, he was getting one-dimensional, the whole stuff. This is led up to the whole Free Face of Foley storyline that'll be later on in the year. You can tell he's getting more respected, they're trying to get out of that deranged Mankind gimmick. He ended up going back to that gimmick in 1998, in leading up to his infamous Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker at King of the Ring the following year. I think King of the Ring 98 or 99, I think it's one of them is the highly bought King of the Ring pay-per-view of all time. I don't know. That's another story for another time. So anyway, and then you got Lawler coming out, basically talking shit towards the fans, calling the fans peons. He needs to kiss my royal feet. He was talking shit towards a female fan, saying she's wearing a massage pedicle clothes, and a male fan saying is your parole officer noticed that you're up late? There's one fan kind of giving Lawler the middle finger. He was talking shit towards Mankind about we heard about your history, we hate your parents meet each other. And he said about, there was a baby joke, Lawler says, he said your mother seen your face and your rear end and said Siamese twins. A bit off. It's just what it is. So the match between Lawler and Mankind, this is shit. Wow, this is shit. It's shitter than the other semi-final match between Helmsley and Ahmed Johnson in the opener. And at this moment in time, Ahmed Johnson was slowly not getting booed, but you can tell like people are not really giving a shit about him. They're trying to book him as the babyface, but he's not winning the big matches. Anyway, so the match between back to the Lawler Mankind match, it was meh. Yeah, Lawler hit the power driver onto Mankind. But he's trying to. In the end, he was trying to go to hit. Yeah, he did a power driver. He was going for his typical flying fist punch off the top rope. And in the end, he was going for a second power driver attempt. Not second power driver, I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm stumbling. I'm speaking too fast, by the way. I need a drink, by the way. My throat's a bit dry. I'm going to say it again. So, in the end, Lawler was going for the second power driver, but Mankind trying to. I thought he was going for like a sunflip roll up, but instead he locked Lawler with the Marble Claw to win this match and advance into the final of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. He will later on face Triple H in the final. We'll get to that match later on. So the next match, this is the first of two Improv 2 matches. This is like a bonus match with no build. We got Goldust with Marlena in his corner, taking on Crush, representing the Nation of Domination. This is shit. Crush is terrible. He was known for he was kind of like the muscle of the group, but he was not that great, Goldust has some moments, he did like twerking. What was he doing? He was doing the punches in the corner. He was something like rubbing his stomach. He kind of gave a slight kiss to Crush. I think they were trying to make him as a bisexual character because the previous year they tried to make him as a gay character. I don't think it was receiving that well. I don't know. That was 1996. He will never do it in today's pro wrestling because for many reasons I don't want to go into it. So. And then Crush got his offense. In the end, you had I think it was D'Lo Brown and Clarence Mason. They're kind of like confronting Marlena. I think they're trying to want to snog and kiss Marlena. That is Terry Reynolds, by the way, but Goldust stopped them. Stopping the other Nation members. I never knew Clarence Mason was there. I thought he was already gone. We'll get more of the Nation later on in this review, or after I talk about the main event of the show. Anyway, so in the end, Goldust got the victory, hit the I think it was a DDT onto Crush for the win, not his finisher. What's it called? The final cut or the final reckoning? It's called. Yeah. They're both tall, by the way, but yeah, there was no chemistry. So Goldust got the victory. Let's move on. So that was just like a Improv 2 match. So moving on to the second Improv 2 match. That is a 6-man tag team match. We got Sid Vicious. I keep saying Sid Vicious. Sorry, Cycle Sid and the Legion of Doom taking on the 3 members of the Hart Foundation. That is British Bulldog, David Boy Smith, Owen Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. By the way, Bulldog is the European champion, and Owen Hart is the Intercontinental champion. And by the way, they lost the tag team titles on the 26th of May episode of Monday Night Raw to Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels. We'll get to their match later on in this on the show. I'm gonna review this their match on the show. Anyway. Like I said, no build to this. This is like a bonus match. And I'm gonna be honest, this was a fun match. I like this match. It was a good match. What it is, Sid is not a good worker. I think Owen, Bulldog, Neidhart, and the Legion of Doom kind of carried Sid to a good match. It wasn't great. It wasn't like it's not gonna be like a 4-star classic. No, I think it's like, if I rate this match, I'd probably give it 3 stars. It was a decent match. In the end, Sid, I think he chokeslam. I think it was Owen or Bulldog. I think it was Owen, by the way. He chokeslam Owen. He was going for like the powerbomb, trying to powerbomb Owen, but like there was like I think it was a mini brawl or something like that. Anyway, you had the rest of the Hart Foundation help. Owen got the victory. I think Owen rolled up Sid for the victory. Yeah, it was basically giving like the Hart Foundation some momentum, because giving Owen and Bulldog some momentum because they lost the tag team titles to Austin and Michaels. And this is Sid's final pay-per-view match ever. He came back in 2015, but not 2015, 2012 I'm trying to say. Yeah, this was Sid's final pay-per-view match. He wrestled one. His final televised match for 15 years was against, I think it was against Owen Hart, the Raw after King of the Ring. Then he won't see Sid again for a month. He wrestled Owen in his last match in the company. It was a house show against Owen Hart in Canada. Then his final televised appearance was in on the 14th of July. And then after that, you won't see. Basically, he left the company because he's recovering from neck injury. You won't see Sid in in the company again. I'll say in the WWF/WWE ring for almost 15 years. He came back in 2012 after spending years in the Indies, ECW, then he went to WCW, become a two-time WCW World Champion as Sid Vicious. Then his career cut short due to that leg injury at the same pay-per-view in 2001. Then he came back to the WWE in 2012, in that storyline between Heath Slater and the Legends. So he never compete. He never showed up on a pay-per-view ever again. I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not too sure he's in the Hall of Fame. No, I don't know. Maybe he's in that crappy section, Legends section. No, that'd be stupid. I wish they'd just give these Legends a proper separate Hall of Fame. So anyway. And there's more of a side note on that. So, moving on to the final of the King of the Ring tournament. We got Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China in his corner again, taking on Mankind. This was a good match. I think this match is a turning point of the show until the main event. We'll get to that main event later on in this review. The match between Helmsley and Mankind, that's Mick Foley, by the way. This was a good match, but it was bogged down with China. There was, I'll get to China a little bit shortly, but it was physical. Mankind, was going for a Helmsley. It was going for some kind of running splash or something, and then Mankind's head was caught on the ropes. It's funny, it's the same spot when he ended up losing an ear in Germany. And then the funny part, when he managed to escape, could be dangerous. If you don't get out quickly, you might choke to death or some shit. Anyway, so Mankind's mask came off, and it's funny, Helmsley took off the mask. There's so many physical spots. Mankind did the running, the Cactus Jack dive. Not dive, but clothesline. He did that dive off the ring apron. After he kind of hit Helmsley with the back body drop onto the hard cement. Helmsley pedigreed Mankind into the announce table. I think he did Helmsley did a run. There was a lot of spots to talk about. So Helmsley did a running knee onto Mankind off the ring into this hard floor, or kind of in the padding. It was kind of half padded, half concrete floor. He kind of climbed with I think it was a camera crew. Yep, and let's talk about China, man. There's so many China interference. I think China interfered in 4 and 5 times in this match. 4 or 5 times. It's just if she did it once or twice, she interfered once in the Helmsley Johnson match from the opener, but this, she interfered a lot, man. It brought this quality match down, in my opinion. She got involved. She every time she hits Mankind in the face near the ropes. I forgot to mention this. Yeah, and Helmsley took off the mask of Mankind. He threw it probably in the crowd. A bit of a side note. I think I did. I'll just tell you again, just in case I forgot. Anyway, so she did typical clothesline or punch, punched Helmsley's opponent in the face without the referee noticing. Mankind was going for a spot near the barricade. China kind of pushed, kind of pulled Helmsley away from safety, and Mankind at the barricade face first, and then the coup de grace. She grabbed the scepter and smacked Mankind in the face with the scepter. In the end, Helmsley hit the pedigree in the ring to win this match, become the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, it just made Helmsley look weak in this match. Like I say, if she interfered once or twice in this match, I'll be okay. But she interfered a lot. To me, that is just poor. It just made Triple H weak. It's just he cannot beat Mankind on his own. And I think like maybe I think one time thing I don't know who's the referee in this match. Probably Mike Kyoto. I think she kind of kicked China out of the out of ringside, but she probably came back anyway. But I don't know. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it made Triple H look weak. You know, or Helmsley. You know, I'll go on Triple H at this moment in time. It's getting really confusing. But yeah, it made Helmsley slash Triple H look weak because he cannot beat his opponent by himself. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So afterwards, you had Todd Pettingill trying to interview Helmsley. He was holding the King of the Ring crown and robes, and also in that Mankind promo earlier, he said like Lawler surrounds himself with robes. He's the what was it the Naked Emperor. It was kind of funny, by the way. It was a good promo by Mankind, Mick Foley, and he said like in that promo says he's gonna walk around naked. I'm gonna walk around naked. So anyway, so back to this coronation of it. Instead of having Helmsley at, near the stage, sitting on a throne. Nope, he had Pettingale holding the crown and robe. He kind of like, I think slightly, briefly, Helmsley put on, I think China put on, sorry, China put Helmsley, sorry, I'm speaking too fast by the way. So China made, put the, it's basically Helmsley snatched the robe out of the hands of Pettingale and made China put on briefly the robe. Instead of putting the crown on, he used the crown. He kind of smacked Mankind in the head with the crown and beat him down a little bit, and then he left the ring, and that was it. So this was the start of this rivalry of the Mankind Helmsley feud throughout the summer and the autumn of 1997. Like I said, this is the start of the Free Face of Foley storyline. Mankind ended up becoming Dude Love and Cactus Jack. So, and I think it was a little late for Helmsley winning the King of the Ring tournament. Everyone knows the story. He said it in his documentary, the Defy Kingdom Come documentary in 2013, that the original plan having Helmsley win the 1996 King of the Ring tournament and went on to face Shawn Michaels for the WWF title at that year's SummerSlam. But unfortunately, the push was derailed. They changed plans because of the whole situation. The whole MSG incident. The curtain call with Helmsley, Michaels, Razor Ramon, and Diesel. Hugged it out because Scott Hall and Kevin Nash end up going to the WWF rival at the time. That was WCW. End up going to the competition. So you cannot blame Razor, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, because they end up going to WCW. Prince cannot blame Shawn Michaels because he was the WWF champion at the time. Nope, he blames Triple H or Helmsley. He almost got fired, by the way. He ended up getting buried. He was in the doghouse. I think this King of the Ring tournament was Triple H's turning point in his career. He went on to become a multiple-time world champion in the next 20-odd plus years. But I think they missed a great opportunity to have Helmsley with the gimmick, becoming the king, because he was doing I think it fit pretty damn well because of his, the Connecticut rich snob character he was doing at the time. If they did not go in that DX direction, he might make that king gimmick work. Mankind winning it will not make any sense. Not make any sense, but it was pitiful that Helmsley would win. But Mankind winning it, I don't think Mankind or Mick Foley will not win. I don't think he needs to win King of the Ring, But I don't think it needs to. Like I say, continue this rivalry between Helmsley and Mankind for the rest. Not rest, but kind of like in the rest of the summer, going into the autumn of 1997. So like I said, yeah, this is like the turning point of Triple H's career, he was Intercontinental Champion in the previous year in 1996, but that was forgettable because maybe at the time people don't really give a fuck about Triple H because he's been in the company since 1995, and because the whole curtain call incident, he lost so much momentum. But I think like I said, it really kicked him on, and then he went on to win the IC title the following year in '98, and then in '99 and beyond he went on to become a multiple-time WWE/World Heavyweight Champion into the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, the PG Era, and the New Era the current era we're in now. So yeah, enough of my rambling. So let's move on to the next match. So the next match, this is a triple threat main event. You got the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and before we get to that, actually, we're going to talk about this segment. You got the Hart Foundation come to the ring. Brett announced that he's gonna compete. They challenge the 5 Americans in a match at the next pay-per-view, that is Canadian Stampede. First off, he snatched the mic from Todd Pettingale. I think it was Todd Pettingale. Yeah, Todd Pettingale told the fans to shut up. He put over the Hart Foundation pretty well. WWF, I had the best people that the WWF has to offer. They going into the mouth of hell to fight the devil. They pump their blood with my heart. They're really putting over the Hart Foundation as a big deal, because they are the best faction at this moment in time. The Nation, not too much in the first version of it, because the next faction really make it as a big deal is Evolution in the year 2003, and then I think the last good faction they had in the company was the Shield. That's another story for another time. So anyway, so it said cross the border to go to my town. That's because you're from Calgary. He said you can have many excuses of knee injury, sore knees, pulled quad muscles, back spasms. He said he wants to do the color commentary and sit down for the rest of the show, but this is kind of going off the script a bit. Basically, you had Brett and the Hart Foundation kind of confronting Vince and Jim Ross, and Jim Ross says, don't be so stupid, you had no business out there. And then you had Brett snatching the headphones out of Vince McMahon, wearing it, and then you got the suits and ties. That is the Future Stooges. That is Jared Briscoe and Pat Patterson. You had what's his name? Earl Hebner, he's a referee, but at the same time he was kind of another suit and tie. They're kind of getting the Hart Foundation out of the arena. This is getting awkward and out of character, not really scripted. And also you had Pillman grabbing Hebner by the cheek. He's grabbing a light, shining there was kind of some torch. He kind of shined it in Vince's face, kind of doing it to back off the referees and the suits and ties. And I think Brett says, figure of speech, something like that, and then Jared Briscoe says, this is over. Yeah, where's Graham Monsoon? Is he, I know he's still in the company. Why he's not there, to help them? I don't know, man. This is kind of what the hell? But anyway, they end up, the Hart Foundation end up leaving the arena. So this segment, I wish they did this on Raw instead of on a pay-per-view. Like I said, I said it once, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say it many more times, Doing segments in pay-per-views just do not work, It's just, this segment's better off, it's coming off a segment you probably see on Monday Night Raw. Do it on a weekly wrestling show, not on a pay-per-view, because pay-per-view in pro wrestling is designed for focus on just the action itself. Weekly wrestling shows are designed for segments and promos, moments, So moving on to the next match, you can call it the semi-main event of the show. So we got Stone Cold Steve Austin taking on Shawn Michaels. So this is they're both tag teams, and at the same time they're not getting along. They hate each other's guts. They defeated Bulldog and Owen for the tag team titles on the May 26th episode of Raw. They're fighting each other. Originally, there was supposed to be 2 matches on the show, but they kind of changed in the last minute. It was supposed to be first off, it was supposed to be Pillman versus Austin, because Austin wants Pillman. He wants the Snake's ass, but they kind of changed it on the next episode. Really, the Raw after King of the Ring. We'll get to the 9th June episode of Raw next time. And the other match was supposed to be Shawn versus Brett, the WrestleMania 12 rematch. Unfortunately, they should have done it at WrestleMania 13, but instead, Shawn had the knee injury, and Slash, he doesn't want to do the job to Brett. Then Brett challenged Shawn to a match at King of the Ring, but changed plans because Brett had the knee injury, and I think then a couple of weeks ago, I think it was May 20, no, I think it was the May 26th episode. I think it's the Raw after Cold Day in Hell, or maybe it's one or the other. That Shawn and Brett, because at the time they really hate each other back then. They were on-screen rival. At the same time, they were a real life rival because on the same Raw, I think it was the May 19th episode of Raw. I think it was May 19th episode of Raw that Shawn cut the Sunny Days promo and says Brett, recently you had some sunny days, and then also Shawn and Brett had that real fight, so they changed plans. Don't worry, they fight at Survivor Series in November of that year. We'll get to Survivor Series when we get to November, but yeah, they changed plans, so because they changed the Pillman Austin match to Raw. Like I said, we'll get to that Raw next time, and the Brett Shawn match should have fought on the show, but instead, because Austin, Brett had the knee injury or re-injured the knee, and at the same time they had the real fight, so you had Austin versus Shawn instead. I think it's the first time they fought one-on-one. So yeah, they're kind of it's the first of many tag teams. They kind of hate each other and become tag team champions. Like the next time they did it in the WWE, that is or WWF, but really, being in 2002 with Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and then Team Hell No with Daniel Bryan, right now Bryan Danielson in AEW, and Kane. And then in recent years with Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar. So it's first of many of people not getting along, arguing, and end up becoming the tag team champions. So this match between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin, this was a good match. This is way better than the match at WrestleMania 14 the following year in 1998. It's because of, Shawn had the back injury, sort of the back injury in his match with The Undertaker, in a casket match at Royal Rumble 98 in January of 98. The back body drop, he suffered the back injury that led to his early retirement for 4 years. And also Austin changing his style, his ring style, because he suffered after he came back from the neck injury in the hands of Owen Hart at SummerSlam 97. We'll get to SummerSlam 97 in the summer, in August. But so yeah, and they didn't really gel in that WrestleMania main event. And also you had Mike Tyson as the special guest enforcer that planted the seeds of Raw being Nitro in the Reigns War in 98. Anyway, so the match between Austin and Shawn, this is match of the night. I really like this match. Before this is a segment early on the show that Pillman did a promo. This was a good promo, by the way. So he said responsible, yes. I reeled this sucker in. Brett expired me when he whispered in my ear. He said Shawn's gonna whoop his ass, stuff like that. And also he's wearing a T-shirt says it's an Austin 316 promo T-shirt. He crossed out the 316 part. Says 9/6/97 because they're gonna fight the Raw after King of the Ring. It says it's been a long time coming, and then Austin was behind Pillman the whole time in that promo. It says Shawn Michaels gonna enjoy whooping your ass, something like that. I don't know some of the promo, not all, but yeah. Austin attacked Pillman, and they were fighting in the toilet, and then Austin put Pillman's head in the toilet. Give them a swirly, and that's you can tell that Austin is going to be not just the biggest star in the company, but the biggest star in pro wrestling history and beyond. He's still, to this day, Austin is people say he's overrated, but he's one of the most popular wrestlers, not just in the 1990s, but in wrestling beyond. Anyway, and also when Austin going down to the entranceway, he saw the Hart Foundation getting escorted by the referees and the force officials, and also Austin taunting Pillman. He gave Pillman the middle finger, and then during the match, Shawn give Austin the finger. You can tell they're getting edgy because at this moment in time, Raw is getting killed by Nitro in the Reigns War. They're not quite dead. The following year they end up like neck to neck. The whole Austin McMahon rivalry. Anyway, so the match was good, and also there was one funny spot, by the way. Funny moment in this match. There was a kid. I think he has a mental disability. And Sean, who's a babyface at the time, kind of escorting this little kid out of the arena. It was, I don't know. It wasn't bad. I'm not gonna shit on it. He didn't really truly interfere, but he's trying to get. I think he was kind of like at ringside, and Sean kind of like, I think he was hugging the kid and then trying to help the security guard escort him out of the building. It was not. Yeah, it's funny. Funny. I went to an indie show, and then there was a guy with mental disability. It was a women's match, by the way. I think it was Lana Austin versus what's her name? Can't remember the name. I think Holly, is it Holly or something? I think it's Holly. I can't remember I don't know her surname. She was a black wrestler. That was in the May of 2019. And the guy was hugging Lana Austin. Maybe the heel female wrestler. I don't know. I did video. I got video clips on it on my channel. Go and check it out. It's funny. If not, it's funny. I told it, by the way. So anyway, let's get back to this match. It was really good. It was techno style wrestling because Austin was like when he was becoming a brawler after the neck injury. You can tell so long of the techno style of Stunning Steve Austin / the Ringmaster. So I don't mind the ring. There was a little bit of rest hold, but I don't like rest hold in pro wrestling. So the ending was a bit Sean ended up like doing these crazy bombs. That was cool, but the ending was a bit odd. So it's involving the referee. So basically Austin Irish whip. I think it was Sean or Austin. One of them kind of Irish whip each other into the referee, Tim White. Then Sean hit the Stone Cold Stunner. Then Austin trying to revive the referee, Tim White. Then Austin Stone Cold Stunner Tim White after he got knocked out. Then the referee Mike Chioda came to the ring, and then Sean super kicked Sweet Chin Music Mike Chioda. Then you got Earl Hebner came down to the ring, and the match ended in a double disqualification. The fans booed, they're throwing crap in the ring because they just want to see a decisive winner, not like, sometimes it's very bad seeing like a double disqualification on a pay-per-view because at the time there's people spending a lot of money, but afterwards, there was one spot, and also Austin grabbed both Austin and Sean grabbing the tag team title belts and trying to hit each other with the belt, but didn't. So, and that was the end of the Sean Austin tag team partnership because, by the way, the end of fighting at WrestleMania in the main event of WrestleMania 14 the following year in '98. And then it had more, making that match more meaningful, but that was disappointing. But besides that, Sean ended up leaving the company briefly. You won't see Sean again until he'll referee the main event. I think it was the main event at SummerSlam '97 between Undertaker and Bret Hart. We'll get to SummerSlam '97 in this August. I will cover that show this August. So, but besides that, yeah, good match. But aside of that crappy ending, but I think it was the match of the night. So, and also like continuing also filling Sean's place was Doodlove. That's another story for another time. So, and then they end up faking the belt because Austin had the neck injury. So moving on to the main event. So the main event we got The Undertaker defending the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Farouk with Paul Bearer in his corner. And in Farouk's corner, we got the members of the Nation: Clarence Mason, Savio Vega, Crush, D'Lo Brown. So so Farouk wants to become the first Black World Champion in WWF/WWE history. Yeah, it was non-existent. It's similar to the Austin Taker bill from Cold in Hell the previous month's pay-per-view. No build to this. I feel like it's more between Taker and Paul Bearer because Paul Bearer's friends have revealed the secret. It's a spoiler alert. Undertaker set fire to his parents' funeral home, killing his parents and also killing his brother Cade. and he debuted at Bad Blood in October. So yeah, like in the go home show to the Raw, they're trying to make it into a big deal, having the members of the Nation beat down the Undertaker. He ended up beating up Taker in the beginning weeks leading up to King of the Ring. So, and he's playing the race card. What's the last time a black guy become a champion? Before that was Ahmed Johnson becoming the first black intercontinental champion. So before that you had Doc Hendricks, that's Michael Pierce Hayes, interviewing the Undertaker that we all love you, no matter how about the secret, how this is gonna how is I'm trying to remember the promo, by the way. He said it like, no matter about we still love you, no matter about the secret, how this gonna change the mental preparation about tonight's title match. And Paul Bearer is funny in this interview segment. I don't really talk about interview segments in pay-per-views. He said to Doc Hendricks, like, he called him a mic man, keep your nose out of my business. And he said, like, I got the secret above your head. You got to do when I do it, every time I do it, something like that. So it was funny. He's basically he's got to say do it well, or the secret's going to be out. Anyway, the match between Taker and Farouk for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Okay match, but similar to the Helmsley Mankind match. Interference. You got the members of the Nation interfering in this match. One more of the match, you had Taker was going to hit Farouk with the old school, but instead of like hitting the execution of the move, but instead he did some kind of splash onto the other members of the Nation. That's Savio Vega, D'Lo Brown, and Crush. Undertaker is the best athletic big man in pro wrestling history. He can do what no big man can do. He moves. He's a big man, but he moves like a cruiserweight. That's when people really praise the Undertaker a lot. He's a good worker. Yeah. So many interference by the Nation. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. Was that a terrible match? No. It wasn't terrible. It was an okay match. There had some moments, like one other match. You had Farouk trying to hit Taker in the head with the steel steps, but Taker kicked the steel steps into the face of Farouk. Unfortunately, no blood. So here's the ending of this match. So the ending of this match, you had Savio Vega and Farouk arguing. You basically had Savio cheap shot the Undertaker near the ropes without the referee noticing. Crush and Savio arguing. Farouk trying to break it up. That was a mistake. In the end, Undertaker tombstone Farouk to win this match and retain the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And afterwards, he chokeslam Crush. Then it's not really good enough for Paul Bearer. He wants the choke slam. He wants Undertaker to choke slam Farouk. I think he hit him 2 or 3 times after this match. And then afterwards, you got Ahmed Johnson kind of like coming down to the ring, confront the Undertaker, say, "What are you doing? That's Farouk. What you did to Farouk. I'm talking to you." And then Ahmed Johnson hit Undertaker with the Pure River Plunge. And yeah, Undertaker got back up. Did the whole not a stand up, like he does like the whole gravy. I don't know why he's basically just doing like the rise up thing. That was cool, but yeah, and he left the ring and the show off the air. So as for the Nation, this was the end of the first Nation of Domination. The first Nation was Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Savio Vega, Crush, Clarence Mason, JC Ice, and Wolfie D. And they just kicked out JC Ice and Wolfie D. I think they'd gone to ECW. They formed this tag team called PG-13. Clarence Mason ended up leaving the company. His contract was expired. And yeah, it was the end of the first Nation of Domination, because I think it was the following Raw. The Raw after that, Farouk ended up kicking out both Savio Vega and Crush. Savio and Crush formed their own nations, not nations, but their own factions. Savio formed the Los Boricuas faction, and Crush forms, the DOA. That's the Disciple of the Apocalypse. That adds in the Skull and 8 Ball. That is, the Harris twins, the former Beverly Brothers, the future creative creator control team in WCW in 1999 with late 99, early 2000 with the powers to be. That's Vince Russo and beyond. So Farouk formed the second version of the Nation. D'Lo was part of the first Nation. He ended up joining Farouk with the second version of the group. Yeah, it's Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Brian Karma Mustafa, formerly known as Karma, the future Godfather, the Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, and then he brings up. I think end up bringing up Mark Henry. But I think it's late 97, early 98, they end up bringing Mark Henry to the group. And then, the Nation of Domination become the Nation. That's in the Attitude Era. That was a different group. But the second version of the Nation is all a proper black faction. Yeah, I wish they kept Savio because because I get it, he's Hispanic, but I wish he fits in that group pretty well. I wish they just crush it out of the group because make it into a proper non-white faction. That'd be cool, but unfortunately, it set up the faction warfare in the WWF that really expired what AEW is doing right now. So my final rating for WWF King of the Ring 1997, I give it a 6 out of 10. Wow, in this arc, Revenge of the Taker, I give it 4 out of 10. Cold Day in Hell, I give it 5 out of 10. Now this show in this arc, I give it 6 out of 10. Wow. No, I call it this was a decent show, not a great one. Like the okay is the okay. Like the opener, Ahmed Johnson versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and the main event, Taker versus Farouk for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. And by the way, Farouk never got one sniff of the championship ever again. I'm talking about the WWF title because it's the only championship match on this show. Because, like I said, Bulldog's not defending the European title. Owen's not defending the Intercontinental Championship because they're in the 6-man tag team match. Austin and Michaels, they were the tag team champions. They're not putting the belts on the line. They're facing each other. First time that each tag team member were the tag team champions face each other in a match on a pay-per-view. The only it's better than like 1995 because 1995 never had a single title match on that show. But there were the okay matches. Taker Farouk, Ahmed Johnson, Helmsley. The bad is the bad. Like great example. Lawler versus Lawler versus Mankind in the other semi-final match of the King of the Ring tournament. That was more of a promo fest. The stuff with the Hart Foundation and Vince and Jim Ross, that was just like a segment, that was just awkward. That's just my opinion on it. Crush and Goldust was not that good of a match. And also the bracket itself was not a good bracket, wasn't that terrible, but it wasn't that great as well. So, but on the flip side, the good is the good. I enjoyed the 6-man tag team match, LOD and Sid taking on the 3 members of the Hart Foundation. I like Helmsley versus Mankind in the final of the 1997 King of the Ring tournament. Aside of the China interference, but that was still a good match. And the match of the night has to be Austin versus Shawn Michaels. So, anyway, I don't suggest you watching King of the Ring 1997. If you do, the 3 matches in the good. Helmsley Mankind, the 6-man tag team match, and Austin Michaels. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my review of WWF King of the Ring 1997. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos and more, and I'll also be part of the Central Unit. Next time, I'm going to do another King of the Ring pay-per-view to review. I did a poll. It's on Poll for All. I did it when I did for the WCW pay-per-views to review. This was like a month or 2 months ago. So it's on the description below. Your choices for the next King of the Ring pay-per-view for me to review are the worst King of the Ring pay-per-view from 1995. King of the Ring 2000. That's in one of the best years of the Attitude Era. And the final King of the Ring pay-per-view in the company's history, that is King of the Ring 2002. So what you do, click the description in this video, and then you find the poll, and the poll is there. So you just click on the poll, and to vote what next pay-per-view to review, the next King of the Ring pay-per-view you want me to review. And you got until 6 days. 6 days. Next week I'm reviewing the next King of the Ring pay-per-view. So 6 days until the poll expire. So like I said, description. You find the poll, your 3 choices. Like I said, I'm going to say it again: King of the Ring 1995, King of the Ring 2000, and King of the Ring 2002. This is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.